Hello everyone, so in this video we'll be talking about linear inequalities. So unlike an equation like we've been dealing with, x equals 4, x equals negative 2/5, an inequality now states that two expressions are unequal. Okay, so we're not going to have that just equals now. We're going to have an expression that has infinitely many solutions, and those come from these symbols. X could be less than, or equal to. The line underneath that inequality symbol means equal to. We'd have greater than, or greater than, or equal to. These are the inequality symbols that we're going to deal with. So let's start this off just by filling out this chart. Get used to writing these and graphing them. So the first one says x is bigger than 5. Our variables first, and it's simplified. So if we want to say this in words, we can say x is greater than or bigger than, x is greater than 5. So if I wanted to graph this on a number line, I'm just going to make a number line real quick. Start at 5, okay? So what's going to happen is since x is bigger than 5, I cannot include 5. So I'm going to make an open circle at 5, okay? And x is bigger than 5, so I'm going to shade or put an arrow to the region that x is bigger than 5. So next, name a point in the solution set. I'm just going to pick 8. Okay, you can pick whatever you want, but I'm going to pick 8, and I'm going to check that that works. So for x, I'm going to plug in 8. Is 8 bigger than 5? Yes, it is. Therefore, we're good to go. Okay, what about the next one? We have negative y is bigger than or equal to negative 2. So the y is negative. I need to undo that. So I'm going to divide both sides by a negative. But since we're negating this, since we're multiplying or dividing by a negative, we need to flip our sign. We need to flip our sign, okay? And what happens now is instead of negative y being bigger than or equal to negative 2, we have y is less than or equal to 2. So if I wanted to make my number line here, starting at 2, since I have equality, since y could also equal to, I'm going to make a closed circle here because I can include 2. And now I need to shade the region. So y is less than, so I need to go to the left. I need to go lower. All right, name a point in that solution set. I'm going to pick negative 5. Again, you could pick anything you want as long as it's smaller than or equal to 2. I'm going to check this. Negative 5 is less than or equal to 2. That is true. And then I could also pick 2. 2 is less than or equal to 2. It has that equality. Therefore, 2 works. That's why it's a closed circle. All right. Next up, 8 is bigger than negative a. So first off, I'm going to rewrite this so that my variable's first. Negative a less than 8. Okay, but I got that negative sign, so I got to divide both sides by a negative. And what happens when I multiply or divide by a negative? I have to flip my sign. So this becomes a is greater than 8. Okay? So I can flip my sign. That makes a being greater than 8. So I'm going to make my number line starting off at 8. Can I include 8? No, I don't have that equality. So it's going to be an open circle. And then it's going to be bigger than 8. So I'm going to shade off to the right. I'm going to pick 10 as my thing to check. Is 10 bigger than 8? Yes. All right. Another way for you to check that that 8 cannot be included, is 8 bigger than 8? No. That way, that's why 8 cannot be included. That's why it has to be an open circle at 8. It's anything bigger than 8. All right? And then for our last one here, we have -3 bigger than m, but I want to rewrite that so my variable is first. So m is going to be less than -3. Don't need to flip the sign because I'm not dividing or multiplying by a negative. All I'm doing is rewriting it so that my variable is first. So this is m is less than -3. Okay? So number line, starting out at -3. I cannot include it, so it's going to be an open circle, and it's less than -3, so I'm going off to the left. Point that's in there, pick -8. -8's about there. Is -8 less than -3? Yes, it is. Okay? So that is an introduction. I will highlight this key point right here for these two problems. All right? When you multiply or divide by a negative, flip the inequality. That's super key, and that's going to be an easy mistake to make, all right, is just not to flip that inequality. But when you multiply or divide by a negative, flip the inequality, all right? And up here, I'm also going to add this note. So if it does not have the line underneath, open circle on the graph. Open circle. If it has that line underneath, remember that means equality, so you can include that number. So this is going to be a closed circle or a filled circle. All right, so there is an introduction to inequalities. Come back for the next video and we will continue working through these notes.